wrestling buddies want to be your buddies.
What's going on?
Hey, buddy. Buddy!
You got me mad now.
It doesn't matter what state, province, country, or continent you're listening or watching on. Welcome, everybody, to the Wrestling Compadres Slamcast right here on AfterBuzz TV. Yeah, why not? We'll get some applause going. Yeah, we're doing it. The energy is just electric in here today.
Woo!
Woo! Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
So, yeah, thanks for coming on board, guys. If you're watching on AfterBuzz TV, hello! If you're listening on iTunes or Podcast One, thank you for joining us. It's going to be another fantastic week. We have a nice squad. A nice squad? We're a nice squad.
We're nice.
We're a very nice squad.
Yeah.
Hello!
We're very kind.
Why'd I go vaudeville with my hello? That was so weird.
I don't know.
Hello, everyone! Now my wife! No, it was so weird. What the hell's wrong with me?
It was beautiful.
I'm amped up. It was the applause.
Problems with your wife is clearly what's going on.
I mean, look, that's not. I don't have enough time to
where's
talk
your
about that.
ring, Johnny? Jeez.
Well, we have
Hello,
an
my
agreement.
ring is gone.
Where'd my ring go?
We have an agreement.
He's in the Beatles.
Like, me and my imaginary wife have an agreement that I will not wear a wedding ring. There we go. So that'll be enough. All right, guys, welcome to the show. Let's get right into it. We have so much fun stuff happening today. First off, we are at Wrestling Buds on Twitter. We are at Facebook.com/WrestlingBuds. If you're listening for the first time, well, hell, you got 103 episodes to catch up on. But welcome.
And
Hi.
hello.
Hello.
And hello! Chuck Rice. Find him on Twitter at CRice17. He is still over in Japan.
He's a man.
He's in Japan.
And of course, also still in Japan, and according to his Instagram, he got attacked by bunnies. And his quote was, "Mo bunny, mo problems," because why not?
That's what he said?
Yes, of course he did.
Wow.
Find him on Twitter at The Walking Dale. He's also in Japan, which they'll both be back next week to talk plenty of Wrestle Kingdom, which is fantastic. Otherwise, you just know him as Dale Rutledge.
I got a puppy.
I got a puppy?
Bad news.
All right, let's get to the intros. I am at Jay Quasto on the Twitter. That dude right there, he is the host of the Curtain Jerks podcast as well as the 16 Bits podcast, and he's wearing a Royal Rumble shirt from last year.
It's true.
Are we talking 2015? Yes.
We are talking 2015.
Because you were there.
I was there.
You were there for all the controversy.
Philadelphia.
Oh boy. Mm-hmm. What were you doing in Philly? I forget. You and your brother flew out for it.
I flew out to go see him. He's in the D.C. area.
Sure.
And then we did a road trip.
Awesome.
We did some wrestling shows. We did an ROH show. We did the afternoon with JR. Mm-hmm. And then we did the Royal Rumble.
And the Rumble had a lot of reaction, didn't it?
Oh, my God.
Yep.
I cried when the Boogeyman came out.
What, you did?
I did. I cried. I was overwhelmed with happy emotion.
As you should have been. Ladies and gentlemen, he's Scott Narver.
Scott Narver, he's Scott Narver. Curtain jerk compadre, he's always there to save the day. Scott Narver, he's Scott Narver.
I'll tell you what.
Yo.
That song has been stuck in my head before.
Well,
like on multiple occasions.
You should let M. Volmar Music let him know because he's fantastic.
Well, I just feel creepy. Like in my house. Like,
Yeah.
Why am I singing that? I haven't seen him in a while.
Even though I shouldn't be.
I'm just creepily singing a song.
But that's great news because you think PN News is just a one-note type of guy. No. Made that song.
Wait, who did?
PN News
Oh, okay.
from WCW.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Absolutely. You're really digging deep now.
I know what you're talking about.
You've gone through a lot of artists over the last couple of months.
To make that song,
Yeah.
you got to find someone who can make the right song.
Yeah, the one that gets stuck in your head.
Sure, and that apparently is the case.
Yep.
Well, we have a very special guest in studio with us, and she's a friend of the show. She's been on many times. I wish she was on every damn week.
Me too.
But she's busy. She's the in-arena host for the LA Kings. She has a brand new video up on FoxSports.com because Fox Sports is like, yo, hey, pro wrestling is big, right? She's like, yeah. So she wrote an amazing piece that's really clever and super entertaining, and it went up yesterday on FoxSports.com. Go to both of our Twitters because it's on there. You can find her on Twitter at Carrlyn Bathe, CarrlynBathe. She's the daughter of a Broad Street bully. Yeah, shout out to Philadelphia.
Woo!
She's Carrlyn Bathe.
That was my song.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's the only song I have right now. I apologize.
Jeez, Johnny, my goodness.
What?
Thanks for the rap. That was wonderful.
I'm a pro. What do you
My
want me to do?
gosh, so flattered. Thanks for having
I'm
me.
drinking amino acids. I'm on point.
You are. We're drinking some phosphates and sulfuric
Callisto
acid.
acids.
What do we got?
Oh,
We're
boy.
on the less healthy acids over here, but
Get your booty, make booty aid.
You know?
exactly. So my booty is proud to be in the seat here with you guys in studio again, and I miss ya.
People are elated when you come back.
Well, I'm elated that they're elated because
Yeah.
it makes me feel elated to be here. So
Absolutely.
it's
That
all,
makes sense.
it's all
And
worth
I
it.
dig how you went Ric Flair shirt and matched it perfectly with a flannel.
You got to.
And then you rolled your sleeves like a greaser from the 50s.
You got to.
Yeah.
The sleeves were too long. They stuck out, so it's
I like
like
it.
part style, part
I
necessity.
feel like you should have a cigarette in your ear.
You
as
know
well.
what? And like rolled up, maybe like a pack
Yeah.
in my arm or something,
And you should be walking into a diner and be like, "Hey, give me stuff for free," and then you just walk out.
and then comb my hair back,
And then go start a fight.
slick it. Yeah, put somebody in a trash can.
Wait, did someone say slick?
Yep, that's my life now.
There it is.
So that's what I've been up to, just slicking my hair back and
No, you're staying busy.
starting bar fights. Yeah.
King season in full swing.
Yep.
And hopefully the Fox Sports will continue.
If you guys want to see more wrestling on Fox Sports, retweet that tweet. You can find it
Yes.
pretty easily on our Twitter. We're hoping that it gets a lot of love, and if it does, I get to do more, which is cool.
Yeah,
So
we
I love
retweeted-
wrestling.
Yeah, we RT'd, Scott RT'd, I RT'd.
I love you guys.
It's fair to say, and saying this in a nice way for Fox Sports, they're behind the times, and you're
Yeah.
trying to catch them up.
just trying to catch
Catch
them
them
up.
up to speed that they need to get on with it. This is a worldwide phenomenon, and you're ready and willing to cover this for them.
Oh yeah, it's like
right.
hockey. You know, just we're just waiting,
It's-
waiting to become a worldwide phenomenon. We'll get
Well, wrestling
there.
clearly is, and
Yep.
so I think Fox Sports is smart to get on that
Smart.
train. I mean, hell, WWE is already on SportsCenter all the time.
Yep.
So it makes perfect sense.
Let's take over the world.
Let's take over the world, y'all. Let's get into it. Like we said, Chuck and Dale still in Japan. A couple of important announcements. Blood Drive at Children's Hospital Los Angeles coming up Saturday, February 13th. As you know, the last one we had in September, it was awesome. It was 2 full days. Every appointment was filled. So many people came and helped out. This is a one-day event. It's Valentine's Day weekend. We thought that'd be perfect. You know, show your heart, give some blood. And so if you do want to donate or know anyone that can, hit me up on social media, and I would love to have you sign up because it's going to be an amazing event. It's going to be so much fun, and we're going to help a lot of kids, which is important. And also, Arizona, I'm going to Stand Up Scottsdale. Got some comedy shows February 4th, 5th, and 6th. I'm going to be co-headlining with my buddy Grant Cotter. Go to standupscottsdale.com or just hit me up on social media. I'd love to see you at those shows as well. And guys, we got to talk about this. Championship Wrestling from Hollywood as I throw my pen on my
put that right there.
keyboard. We had a great taping this past weekend. We
Yes.
had our annual Percy Pringle Cup, which
you
was
win?
awesome. I did not win.
Oh, Did Kathy win?
I was on a headset. Kathy did interviews and then had to hustle to the Golden Globes.
I saw that. AfterBuzz. You
It was
guys.
a pretty good day.
Yeah, she was a busy lady. And then she
was.
went to the after party after the after party after the after
I
party.
think
right?
that's how it works.
That's what it went.
She
like.
claims one after party, but I'm not cool enough to go, so I don't know.
Nah.
You know?
Good for her. Love Kathy Kelly.
Yeah. But it was an amazing event.
Good event.
I don't want to give away what happened because episodes are coming up, but if you go on social media, you find out. But
Where can we find it?
CWF Hollywood on Twitter.
Cool.
And
And
there's
on
also
the YouTube, yes.
The YouTube.
I'm sure there's some stuff on YouTube.
Get out.
If you want to watch episodes, go to patreon.com/United Wrestling, and that's what I do. I pay $2 a month. I get all the episodes. I could listen to my commentary and critique myself.
You know
and
what that is? That's a bargain.
It's a pretty damn good bargain.
It's a good bargain.
Can I
is.
ask, without spoilers,
Yes.
who impressed you the most at this event?
Great question.
Other than yourself.
Oh boy, that would kind of be. Oh boy, that'd be kind of giving a little bit away.
Who showed the most heart?
That'd kind of be giving it away.
That would be like that they lost, and then the first
nailed
guy
it in.
I can
and
tell you-
didn't
I
do
can- I can tell you
anything
this.
noteworthy.
showed up.
I can tell you this: a certain person that did very well in our tournament also just had an amazing match at Wrestle Kingdom 10.
Cool.
Oh
can
my
tell you that.
goodness.
Cool.
King Kong Bundy?
He was not at Wrestle Kingdom 10.
I don't think you watched the full thing.
I maybe I didn't, so maybe I missed him.
Okay.
But either way, it was an awesome event. It was really fun calling the matches in honor of Percy Pringle, because he was a huge part of our show for a long time. So that was really cool. So like I said, get on it. If you love wrestling, get on it. Start watching, and Party on.
Boom.
So with that said, why don't we get into some Slamcast news? Now, I believe Shane Hartline probably can hear us speak right now.
Yep.
Because his idol is going into the Hall of Fame. And that's the man they call Sting.
Oh, yeah.
First guy to go into the TNA Hall of Fame and the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, very good point.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he's going to use the same speech?
Meaning he'll just play it back or say the same thing?
It's just same thing, and just go like, and thanks to Vince McMahon and all of TNA WWE.
Maybe. It's certainly an option.
That'd save time for him, you know. Wouldn't have to rewrite.
Yeah.
True.
Not easy to prepare a speech.
Is he doing the speech with face paint on or sunglasses?
Ooh.
I say face paint.
You think so? He's doing the whole
I don't think he will. I think he'll just show up.
Yeah?
Normal. I don't know.
tuxedo leather jacket?
Is he going to retire?
We don't. No one knows.
Well, I don't
certainly
want him
hope
to either.
I mean, we got to believe he's going to be a part of WrestleMania 32. Right now, we have no idea.
What about the Rumble?
I'm believing he's part of the Rumble.
That's what I'm
Are
thinking.
you really?
Yeah.
Huh. I assumed that was not going to happen.
Speaking of my Fox videos, if they air my second one, I speak about that and how I think he'll probably show up.
Do you?
Yeah. That was a bold statement, but I don't know.
The title, it's huge.
Put him in there.
I mentioned this about how. Now, I don't think anyone agrees with me. What if
Never.
Who would?
I know the feeling.
Yeah, right. But the title's involved, so would they consider 40 people for the Rumble this year?
It's worth considering.
Yeah.
But it's already high stakes. It's whether or not they just want to bump it. But I'm sure it's being tossed around. They keep mentioning it all the time with Alberto Del Rio. They keep mentioning the 40-man Rumble. So it's as relevant now as it's been.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people, especially with the New Japan guys coming over, with who might be involved, who might not be involved, who knows really for sure.
Festus.
Maybe.
I don't want to get too off topic, but
Yeah.
I just want to hear what you think about that. That having the title on the line in the Royal Rumble at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Like, that's never happened before. Unless, it was when it was vacant.
Yeah.
But this way, it hasn't really happened like that. And I just feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of finding the number one contender for the main event at WrestleMania, which is usually for the title. So
That's
it's
a
like,
good point.
what? You're gonna have to get creative with your storyline on the road to WrestleMania if someone else ends up winning the title, or you revert back to Roman winning, and then it's just finding another.
Well, and if they really don't want Roman to win the Rumble, shouldn't they automatically put him at number one? Wouldn't that make sense if you're...
Or number 2.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that make sense if you're really out to get him?
Yeah.
Yes. It would.
So weird.
But I think with that, what you're
I'd be
talking about,
feeling-
removing the number one contender at Rumble, this makes Fastlane mean that much more, because
Very true.
that's
Yeah.
what Fastlane's going to be all about.
That could be the main event.
Just trying to find that person.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll find out that Roman could be the first entrant. We still have one more Raw to go, SmackDown.
Yep.
And SmackDown is, I feel like it's going to have a bigger role now being on USA.
Congrats on that, by the way. They had a good turnout.
Oh, yeah, and Mauro Ranallo. Fantastic.
Oh, so good.
Man, I love the intensity and the... I can't think of the right adjective.
Gravitas.
Gravitas
He
to
retweeted
it.
it.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Sent out a tweet and he retweeted.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was great. We did the SmackDown AfterBuzz show here.
Wait, Mauro retweeted?
Yeah.
You sure?
I am sure.
Okay.
Or it's Tony Schiavone hacked his account. I'm not sure on that.
Okay.
But yeah, the whole show, everything was so great with his commentary, with giving it a fight feel, giving it the storyline gravitas, giving everybody's backstory to it, like the fighter story to it. And he was calling moves. He was calling so many moves.
Yeah.
I miss that.
I really dug
We don't
it.
get enough of that on Raw. You know.
I mean, it's kind of, it all depends on the style they want to go for, but I really feel like Mauro came in and did his thing, and I don't know if he was directed too much. I think they just let him go. But I really enjoyed listening to it. I learned a thing or two. I mean, I try to learn from every commentator that I watch, and there's great things that Cole does for sure. But it was fun listening to him as well, because I picked up a few things,
Who do you look up to the most, commentator-wise?
I will say
question.
this. My favorite combo of all time, without question, is Gorilla and Bobby Heenan.
Okay.
The chemistry there's an unwritten chemistry that is just. I mean, when you go back, I still will go back and watch old Tuesday Night Titans and just listen to, and maybe it's nostalgia, but they really had, the chemistry was so good.
Agreed.
And Bobby Heenan never cracked. No matter how outlandish he was being, he always stayed in character, and that made it, especially when he was the foil, which was most of the time. But I would say I think Mike Tenay is one of the most underrated commentators ever. Huge Mike Tenay fan. He's got, like we mentioned about Morrow being the gravitas and like the intensity. Mike Tenay really makes it like important. Like, I love listening to him.
That's great.
So I would say off the top of my head, those are two guys. And obviously JR's a legend. I mean, I don't have to say that. So, yeah, there you go.
There we go.
But yeah, Sting. Sting's in the Hall of Fame. We kind of went off on a tangent.
Sorry.
But Sting's in the Hall of Fame, but we're excited. Maybe he's in the Rumble. Hopefully he's got to be involved in Mania somehow.
Who presents him?
Flair?
Could
be Flair.
Could. Yeah.
Triple H. They shook hands after Mania, right? I mean, they're buds.
They did. RoboCop.
Oh my God, I'm there front row if that happens.
Yeah. Our good friend Eddie Pence was there that night as a kid.
Really?
He was at Starrcade. I think it was Starrcade.
That's awesome.
With RoboCop, and
Dang.
he even said, he's like, hey, even as a kid, it was pretty weird. All right, so Daniel Bryan sent out an Instagram with a quote saying, will I return to the ring? No matter what anyone says, I keep training like the answer will be yes, yes, yes. And it's a picture, I believe, of him doing squats. So, I can only hope that is something possible. But with concussions, it's a very delicate thing.
In any sport, it's such a delicate thing.
Yep.
And if he didn't get baseline testing done, which I'm sure they do. I don't know if they do. Well,
they gotta do it all.
I hope they do.
They got to do it all.
Yeah. So I wonder when he'll be back to his baseline. And for anyone that doesn't know what that is, I'm going to get all medical on you. They give you a
Please,
series.
I get medical plenty of times on the show.
I'm sure you do. Physical therapist, Johnny. I
didn't say it, Scott. Shut up. I did not say it.
He's a great physical therapist, everybody. Okay.
I am good. Look at Scott giggling like a schoolgirl.
You son of a bitch.
So
The twang was at it, which was the best.
that's my Johnny voice. That's how he
Yeah.
talks.
I'm a physio. What's going on, everybody?
So hopefully they would have done some sort of testing that, they ask him silly questions like repeat these numbers, do this, say the alphabet this way, and then they will ask those same questions after a concussion.
And that a field sobriety test.
Yeah, to compare and contrast where he's at. So I'm hoping they did that so they have a good gauge of like where he's at now.
I mean, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
So we hope for the best.
I just want to see him back.
It'd be amazing to see one last run. But it's tough because the way his style, man, it's reckless abandon. So,
Absolutely.
He's not the kind of guy that's going to come back and
Be delicate in any way. No. Because he's a small guy. He can't do big power moves and rely on his size. Like, that's just never going to happen. So,
I mean, dream scenario, we see him in the Rumble or he makes a comeback for WrestleMania.
oh boy.
But also, I feel like if that was going to happen, I don't think the Instagram would have been necessary.
No. That's true.
But it could have just been him being motivated.
It's very true. What gets the bigger pop if he came back at the Rumble or if he came back at WrestleMania?
Well, if he comes back at Mania, they're clearly going to show him beforehand.
Okay.
It's not going to be, but the Rumble, he could be a surprise because.
Well, the Rumble will lead to that. I feel like if he showed up at the Rumble again, it's that disappointing. Like, if you throw him out again,
Oh, that was last
we
year.
are going
yeah.
to boo. We are going to
Flashes
be
of
upset.
Booze.
Do you remember last year? That was a
I certainly do.
dump
Let's
by the
save
Wyatts.
him for Fastlane, guys.
That could be a thing too. He did wrestle at Fastlane last year. Was that one of his? It wasn't one of his final matches, but it's been a while.
It's
It's been a while because it was not too far after WrestleMania.
It's been a while.
I had that song's in my head too.
Yeah.
Let's listen to Scott Narver's song again so we can get out of our head.
Scott Narver, he's Scott Narver, curtain jerking
I'm not gonna
Compadres,
sing it.
always there to save the day.
Okay,
Great,
Scott
now my
Narver. He's Scott Narver.
See,
I'm blushing.
I wrote those lyrics.
No way.
I sure did.
Wow.
I sure did.
Simple yet effective.
All right, here's something cool. Finn Balor did a post on Twitter about the Royal Rumble and teasing AJ Styles. It was like a meme that had a picture of him and a picture of AJ underneath that said, "What if this guy was number 1 and this guy was number 2 in the Rumble?" Like I imagine he had to get permission to put that tweet out because nothing's been made official.
True. Did it say AJ Styles' name?
No, it's a picture of him.
Okay, well then it's fine because then WWE hasn't thought up a stupid name for him yet, so it's all good.
There's no way in hell he's not going to be AJ Styles.
Okay.
You don't think?
Absolutely. You?
I don't know.
Samoa Joe.
True. It happens every so often, but remember Video Atari?
Yeah. Okay, not to use the word gravitas again, but there's certain individuals that don't need a name change. AJ Styles is one of them. Samoa Joe's one.
Johnny LaQuasto.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty cool name.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Oh my gosh, what if they called AJ Styles Johnny LaQuasto?
No! Whoa! Actually, that'd be pretty neat.
That would be
my
neat.
My Twitter following would jump up.
Would you then become AJ Styles?
I'd just Styles clash everybody. And I'd start on stuffed animals, so I learned how to do it. But then go
Tell
from
those rabbits to not move their head.
all those rabbits. But yeah, so I don't know. I think we're getting close to some cool stuff. AJ could be another surprise entrant in the Rumble.
Could be.
Yeah, it'd be great. I don't know if Vince or whoever it would be would trust that the entire audience would know who it is because they feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying that from my perspective. I'm saying that from their perspective, where they always feel like, well, they don't know who this is, so why would we do that? That maybe we'd sooner get, Luke Gallows out of the bunch because they're like, he's been here. They know who he is.
Yeah, but they're not going to want to do anything with Festus. He's such a far removed from that.
Right.
No way, dude.
I mean, we're talking people that are a little out of touch here.
He has to. No, everyone knows AJ Styles. You'd think.
You'd think.
You'd hope.
Maybe not 10-year-old kids who only watch WWE, but otherwise everyone knows Styles, and it's going to be huge. Honestly, like, what's a bigger rival, Samoa Joe or AJ Styles? You got to say Styles even. That's why he'd be directly to the main roster.
Depends on what year, but yeah, I guess right now AJ is.
Especially with you look at the match he just had with Nakamura. Good lord, I flinched like 4 times during that match watching it.
Do you have the lights off?
I did. I was watching it before I went to bed.
What does that matter?
Because it might have been scary.
Yeah,
Oh.
a little bit scary. That's all.
Boo.
Ah!
He's easily flinchable.
Johnny LaQuasto, easily flinchable.
So the Rumble's coming up. John Cena has shoulder surgery. He had an infraspinatus tear, which is the posterior back part of the rotator cuff, as we can get medical here.
Now, how would you know that?
Yeah. How would you know that?
What do you mean?
Are you like a physical therapist?
I'm not saying what I am.
Oh, you could be anything.
But I'll
Yeah,
say
Be a
it.
snake oil salesman.
But I'll say it in this accent. No, so back of the shoulder, rotate, and then the doctor also had to clear out some cartilage. That's a number of months recovery.
That's
Yeah.
nasty.
He's out for 4 days.
Yeah.
4 days for
But
Cena purposes.
Have you seen his new puppy?
No.
God.
Oh, he has a puppy?
Yep, he's got a puppy.
Seen a puppy?
Seen a puppy.
That's adorable.
They
What kind is it?
Nikki posted. It's a French bulldog.
Oh, of course.
They posted on. I think his name's Winston. Is
That
that
makes
Bree's
sense.
dog? No, I think it's Nikki's dog. Yeah, and it's cute and tiny and little.
French bulldogs are cute.
But shoulder surgery.
Yeah, I mean, it looks
here
like
to
it's
bring
only
you off track.
It's only one of the 4 rotator cuff muscles, so it's not like a major, massive surgery. But at the same time,
Do you need it?
oh yeah,
Okay.
It does external rotation. It allows your arm to do this.
Oh.
So if the tear gets worse and worse and worse, it's just going to become a mess.
So this will be difficult.
Right now,
He can't.
right now he's probably not allowed to move his shoulder at all. He's just doing isometric exercises.
is
Isometric
visible.
means he's not moving his shoulder.
So
he's
you
just
can
doing.
see him.
You can see him.
He can't.
You can see him push against the wall with his arm, different directions, but he's not allowed to. Early on, you can't move your arm. You're just doing isometrics, like really boring stuff.
Yeah.
But it'll still be probably 4 to 6 months recovery, so there's no way.
He's wrestling at WrestleMania.
If he pulls that off,
He's going to.
You-
I'm calling it.
you're
I
sure
say
of it?
I that's what I say, yeah. There's no way that he's not going to be at WrestleMania with the
Oh, man.
injury list that there is right now.
if he
Oh,
comes
man.
back in just over 2.5 months,
Let's make a bet.
As a stand-up comedian, you would think what?
I will wage a bet.
if he comes back in WrestleMania, I don't know how he could possibly do that and wrestle a full match.
It's gonna happen.
Okay. If anyone can do it, it's him.
That's true.
And ADR did say on Raw that he's not going to be at WrestleMania because of him. So I don't know. And also, last bit of news for the week. Taryn Terrell announced this past week that she's finished with Impact Wrestling and possibly with wrestling for good. So
Oh, she's one of your faves.
she's absolutely one of my favorites.
What was
But,
the reason?
She just said it was time to part ways. She's got a kid. She's got married. I think she's
Ready to settle?
Kid just got married?
Her kid did not. She's already had a kid and then got married.
Then that kid got married?
Modern family.
How many kids are getting married?
No,
They're too young. She just had them.
in what country?
Oh, this is not okay.
But yeah, so I don't know. She's living her life, and who knows? But she is really, really, really good. I mean, she really proved herself these last couple of years as being one of the best. So, who knows?
Hope she's happy.
Yeah, hope she's happy as well. And you
Good
know,
luck with all of her future endeavors.
good luck with future endeavors and with life. And that is the Slamcast News. All right, so I know Dale and Chuck are probably going to talk at length about Wrestle Kingdom 10. You and I both saw bits of it. Have you seen any of it? Yeah, it was hard to find.
I didn't even look. I'm a bad wrestling fan.
Yeah, you're busy. We're all busy.
I've seen tweets and stuff. I just go on.
It was 4 hours of amazement.
We're spoiled these days. We want a network where it's just there.
Yeah.
And they have a network and it's not in English. And you got to go, huh? You got to go off of pictures?
It was 4 hours of fun. I can tell you that. The four-way
Unless
tag.
you're a physical therapist, then you're probably cringing the whole time.
Yeah, I was cringing a little bit. Not saying I'm a physical therapist. I'm sorry.
Just kidding. Boo! Ah, there we go.
The four-way tag right off the bat with Red Dragon, the Young Bucks, Ricochet and Sydal, and Roppongi Vice, which is Rocky Romero and Trent. Damn.
Yeah.
Just
start off the show.
Incredible. Nakamura, AJ Styles, that's the one that really had me. Those knee strikes. Oh, my Lord.
Tell me about him. I didn't see it.
They were just...
It really felt like they're, to use the phrase, like they're not in business with each other. Mm-hmm. Like they were feuding, they were fighting.
Wow.
It's not like, hey, let's put on a show. Mm-mm. I'm going to stop you and I will pin you for 3 seconds, or I will make you submit, is what it truly felt like.
That's
so
amazing.
many false finishes. I mean, AJ turned he pulled off a Styles Clash out of a reversal, and then the knee strikes from both of them to the back of the head, and the final knee strike from Nakamura. I'm sorry, no, the final knee strike was it was Nakamura. Oh God, just
brutal.
So fast and vicious.
Dang.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was pretty much perfect, and it told a story. I think the match may have been close to a half hour. What do you think, Scotty?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was, and then so was the other one was like 40 minutes.
It was real long. Yeah.
Tanahashi versus Okada.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those were main events.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, well, they were the main event of Wrestle Kingdom 9, were they not?
Yes.
Only Okada lost.
Right.
This time around, Okada victorious.
Mm-hmm.
Made it rain. So, but yeah, we'll wait till next week because we want to get Chuck and Dale's.
And great commentary by Kevin Kelly and Stryker.
Yes, I mean I already liked Stryker, and Kevin Kelly he does a great job at Ring of Honor, but I thought they were a good combo.
Yeah, they are a good combo. I mean, JR last year was great too.
Mm-hmm.
JR was a great way of getting new eyes and ears on it when it's, before it's like, well, it's a little indie and it's a little different. Like, I don't know if I want to watch that. Here's how you're going to get JR back in commentating. And then if it pulled in enough people where it came around again this year and they go, oh yeah, that last year that was amazing. Mm-hmm. So commentary wasn't an issue anymore. It's like, I'm going to watch this regardless.
Yep.
So I'm happy that all came about the way it did, because it seemed a whole lot bigger this year.
It was good. And Kevin Kelly's another one who is really underrated, I think. Mm-hmm. Very solid. So that's all we're going to talk as far as Wrestle Kingdom. Let us know your thoughts, though. But like I said, want to save a bunch of that for next week.
Send me a link.
Yeah, send links.
Send some links.
Like,
why not?
So I can watch.
Don't send spoilers, just send links.
Yeah.
Let's get into everything that was happening with Raw, because, Jesus, I thought it was a fantastic episode. You guys?
Yeah. I heard other people disagreed with you when you said that.
On Raw they did,
yeah,
but I mean,
on
look,
AfterBuzz.
For y'all, I got one question. Do you know the way to
Suplex City?
Let me know, because last night was on and popping.
Yeah, man. I mean, just all in all, good Raw. That first match, what was the Sheamus and Dean Ambrose match?
Yeah, Sheamus got busted open.
That was crazy. It just felt like long but good, but like, you know.
Yeah. A battle out of nowhere. Dean standing there on the
get down here. All right.
Mm-hmm.
knocks him, and then we get started. I always like a show that starts with the entire roster.
Yep.
and then you have Vince come out. Like, now it means everything. Like, it's the whole company. It's everybody involved.
Even Damien Sandow in a robe.
I saw that. I was so happy.
Well, I was like, I want to see him. I want a surprise though. I don't want to just see him stand on the ramp.
I also don't want to see him take up or do his last thing again. Like, I kind of want to see him reinvent himself a little bit. Like, I don't want him to go
Oh, he's wearing the robe.
from back to before what he was before the stunt double.
But see, I loved him as the intellectual savior.
You did?
I think it'd be okay.
I think we can 2.0 it. You know, we can make it better.
Yeah, make it better, and maybe
Yeah.
I'll jump on board. But
Have him interact with the social outcasts.
I just want to see him again.
Oh, you mean the Hulu Outcasts?
It looks like I found some friends.
Because it happened again.
Oh my gosh!
I call them the Hulu Outcasts.
You didn't see their T-shirt or their music.
I saw the T-shirt because they were standing up there on the ramp when they're panning everybody in the very beginning, and Heath is like, hey, look at this shirt, and that was great. And I was excited to see them in the rest of the episode. No, Hulu cut them out.
Who's in charge?
I don't know.
Who's in charge of cutting those Hulu 90 minutes?
Hulu's
things?
in charge, I guess.
I don't like this Hulu in charge guy
Yeah.
or gal. I don't want to be prejudiced.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
true.
2016.
But I hate them.
Whoever you are, Mr. or Mrs. Hulu, you better not.
Give Scott what he
You
wants.
better not
Cast them in.
hold off those social outcasts.
The shades are off.
Come
I
on.
gotta see what's going on. So now I have to like you. I have to scour the internet finding this somehow. Asking Jeeves where are the social outcasts.
You asked Jeeves?
I ask him every week.
Okay, wow. That's awesome.
He's still around?
Well, he's not doing as well as he used to.
No, but
he's a chain
he's
smoker.
attentive though when you
Yeah.
ask.
I think he's a chain smoker.
He
I'm not sure.
tries.
Yeah, he does his best. But yeah, Suplex City all over the damn place.
All day.
An F5 to Roman Reigns. You get a suplex. You get a suplex. You get a suplex. And then an F5. So the question is, throughout the whole show, Paul Heyman's pulling for Lesnar to automatically be in the main event of WrestleMania. Because he goes, that's a guaranteed box office. Whoever wins the Rumble should face Brock Lesnar.
He's a prize fighter.
He's on a roll, baby.
I love that.
Play that one again. I messed it up.
I'm on a roll, baby.
There we go.
There you go.
I love that. It's always that outside thinking, like what Kevin Nash has, the other reasoning, where it's money. It's no, let's do this. That'll be money. He doesn't need to be in the Rumble, as opposed to like, oh yes, Brock wants to be in the Rumble along with everybody else. It's outside thinking. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on board with that too.
Yeah, well, who wasn't was Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
He's a little stubborn.
Happy New Year!
He was not pumped about it. Apparently, he stormed out of the office, and so Stephanie basically stood up to Paul Heyman and said, no, your client's in the Rumble. Let's leave it at that. And then, of course, he destroys everybody as Raw goes off the air. So definitely, we got a cliffhanger on our hands. Is Lesnar in the Rumble? Is he not in the Rumble? Makes sense that he is.
Michael Cole kept saying like, well, I can tell by the actions that were laid out before me that Brock Lesnar will be in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's really presumptuous of you.
But
seemingly if two friends, one turns on the other one, you go, what happened? Why? What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell.
I feel like if he's not in the Rumble, they're not going to tell us that. We'll just wait till each person comes out, and then we'll be like waiting for him, right? And then they'll be like, oh.
Do you?
But you know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like he'll get in the Rumble, be eliminated somehow, and that will develop a feud for WrestleMania, and he's not in the title picture? I feel like that's the way it's going to go.
With Brock and the person that eliminates him?
Perhaps. I mean,
Is that what you're getting
it's
at?
classic old school, but
I don't know. I don't.
I love the uncertainty.
It's always uncertainty.
I love it. Love it.
I was so scared.
I just don't know.
I wish I could take a picture of you thinking right now. It's pretty funny.
It's hard to think.
Oh my god.
But
Hey, yo.
could they do that though? Could they not announce? Like, could they be like, Brock's in the Rumble, and then he doesn't show up? Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like,
unless he raises hell again next week, and they're afraid for everyone else's safety. Otherwise, I think it makes sense to put him in the Rumble because it's not like Brock has to be in the title picture. He's gonna be an attraction anyway. Any match he's in is already going to be a main event. And so WrestleMania 32, 100,000 people setting attendance records, you're going to want multiple main events to where, wrestling's subjective. Some people like certain things. Someone's, oh, Brock Lesnar, that's my main event. Roman Reigns, that's my main event. You know what I mean? So I think, but with him being in the Rumble and maybe getting screwed over by someone could lead to an interesting next couple of months, maybe.
It's good. It's true. It's kind of what they did at Hell in a Cell. I feel like there were a couple different matches that catered to different people where they felt like this is my main event. No, this is my main event. But
We watched Hell in a Cell together.
yeah, that was I felt like my favorite match happened before the main event. You know what I mean? Like that's true. They could put him lower on the bill and people will still come and watch it because he's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And he's crazy.
Hard to follow, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. And you got to wipe up all that blood.
Oh, man. Wait, you're talking about
Blood and urine and vomit.
all that.
The combo platter.
Oh, boy. That's a...
All on your nachos.
Oh, boy.
What I
Yep.
had for lunch.
Did you enjoy them?
It was very urine-y.
How did you...
You want to talk about
Not
it?
a good balance, huh?
Nope. I was going to ask you how your Apple Watch is doing there.
It's 3:52 p.m. in Cupertino today.
Brand new Apple Watches!
Just
You know
today?
what's weird? I just realized that. So my phone would always tell me the weather in Cupertino. Is that it's a Silicon Valley thing? Is that why?
Yeah, that's where
See,
Apple is.
my ex-girlfriend, we've been away 6 years now.
Your ex-wife?
No, not my wife. My ex-girlfriend is from there, so I always thought that somehow my phone knew.
That she hacked you? And
Yeah.
Here's what's going on in Cupertino.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to know where weather is up. I don't care.
Your thing was just trolling you.
It was just Apple letting me know that that's where it was from.
That's cute.
I just figured it out.
Quasto and Cupertino.
I'm such a fun dad.
Just now, that happened. Like you just figured it out.
Yes.
I'm happy to have been a part of that moment.
I know. It is a pivotal moment in the old life of old JL.
You're my favorite dad, Johnny.
Thanks. I appreciate you. All right. New U.S. champion, Kalisto. Hell of a match.
Yeah.
Love the
Dope.
whole ending where ADR goes for the double stomp. Kalisto gets the, it's almost like a Hurricane DDT, if you will, Hurricane Rana DDT. And then the surprise roll up for the win. And just like that, we have a brand new U.S. champion.
Yeah, on the brand new episode of SmackDown on the new network. Oh, wait, no, they just had a match there, and then he won it on Raw. So
Yes.
SmackDown is still a lesser than show.
Yep.
Well, but
Time might be changing.
It might
Yeah.
be. It wasn't last week with the title matches they had and no titles changed hands.
okay, well, don't be mad, Scott.
I saw a title change hands like once on SmackDown.
Scott's a little salty.
Yeah.
I want to hear Morrow have a great show and then also be able to call a new champion.
It's
He
gonna
had John
happen.
Cena in his corner at that time.
It's going to happen. He still won the match, which led to Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
I got to
It's
admit,
alright.
little surprised.
A lot of surprised.
Yeah.
I thought there'd be a chase, but there really wasn't much of a chase.
Well, I think what's it is now kaput, right?
Sin Cara?
No, what's the faction? I can't even remember it.
I was just going to say, we
It was
haven't
so
heard
short.
anything about the League of Nations.
Yeah, the League of Nations. Yeah. So, I mean, they don't have champs anymore. It's all falling apart. So the idea of having this faction have all the gold, that's
Yeah, where are they at?
it's gone.
Where are they at? Where'd they go,
They
Johnny?
weren't even at the top of the ramp.
Where'd
Are
they go?
social outcasts now?
Barrett was there.
Barrett, was he?
Yeah.
Was he dressed as Stardust?
I did not see Rusev. No, he was not dressed as Stardust.
Okay.
I didn't see Rusev either.
I don't know where he's been. I'm very... I don't know. I don't know what
Who
happened
would
to
have
the...
thought
is
that
happening?
the championship faction would go away probably sooner than how long Social Outcasts will last?
Yeah. That's why I can't believe... It's no. It's,
I was
it can't
gonna
be.
make a Powerball reference because I feel like
A lot of power balls.
here's my reference though. So Powerball, someone told me, is going on to distract us from something greater that is going on.
Like
Or what-
conspiracy theory?
Like
The Rumble?
like a conspiracy theory.
love
No,
that.
in just
Did
life.
you talk to Jesse Ventura?
No, but just in life, like war or something else, like something's happening. You know, so like that's happening. What if something's happening with the League of Nations, but like Brock coming back is like the Powerball and it's distracting us when we don't know, so we didn't see it, we didn't pay attention, and we don't. Now we're sitting here questioning it. So like, it's
I like the Powerball theory a lot better.
so like the League of Nations are like the hydrogen bomb in the Korea. In the Korea.
In that Korea.
In North Korea. That covers both sides.
And
Sure.
they're out there like trying to figure it out, and we're just left here somewhat questioning. That went well. That you know what
I follow.
I'm.
I follow.
Do you know what I'm saying?
It brought to light that I am a dumb wrestling fan that doesn't pay attention, but now I should pay attention because something's going on with the champions and the League of Nations. But no. Here's big shiny Brock.
They're trying to
with
sprinkle
the
some
wiener
stuff
sword
up.
tattoo. Look at that. Isn't that nice and shiny?
Look at him. Look at him go. Boom, Powerball.
I am sure.
Sure. I'm sure.
Okay.
That was me.
And our truth was there, present at the thing that was going on in real time.
My bad.
So good for him of actually finally being on board.
Yep.
That's true. Wow, that's an interesting theory. If it is
Fireball.
indeed a theory, I'm not
And
quite sure.
Korea.
I think it was technically a theory.
It was like a comparison. You know, this was a true look inside my brain.
You know what? I'll double it because that
What a
theory
journey!
goes-
And
that
what a
theory-
journey it was.
That theory goes along with, Roman Reigns. Oh, boo, no one likes Roman. This is boring. You bring Vince McMahon out, and everybody's then like, oh, Vince. What's going on with Vince?
Powerball, $1.5 billion Vince right now.
Yep.
But
Vince is the Powerball.
he's no longer a billionaire, but it's like
Yeah.
Powerball billions.
I bought a Powerball ticket over
I bought
the
a
weekend.
lot.
Did you?
I don't play the lottery. I was with a friend, and she's like, "You gotta get some Powerball and Mega Millions tickets." I still haven't looked at them to see if I
Talks
won
for you.
anything. Yeah.
So you could be Johnny.
No, I'm not the winner because I think they know automatically if.
No,
Really?
you got to look at your dang tickets, Johnny.
Yeah, they
Man.
don't look for you to give you money.
No, you
That's
got to
kind
look
of your
at
responsibility.
Ooh. Okay, I got it in my wallet. What? I guess go to a gas
No,
station.
you give it to
Do you
us.
want me to look it up
You
in my
give it-
Apple
You give it to
Watch?
us, and
Did
then
you
we
s-
run it through the
Should
scanner.
we read off
Wait,
the Powerball numbers right now?
Did you sign your name on the back of the ticket?
I don't know.
Let me see it.
I think so. Maybe.
Let me see it.
Why? Does it matter?
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. Oh, perfect. Let me grab that. No
Right.
name on the back. Okay. Powerball. You didn't win because the Powerball number is 13.
How do you know?
Because I've been. Oh, you have a 13 here.
That's Mega
Whoa.
Millions. Mega
So-
Millions.
Is that your Taz number that you pick right there?
Yes.
So, I feel like.
I gotta go to the gas station and put it under the little sensor thingy to let me know if I won money, huh?
Yeah, you could have won like $10 or something.
Hey, I'll
but
take
those
it.
aren't the numbers.
Okay.
There was a 32.
Very like Carrlyn, hold on to your ticket.
What?
Give me tickets.
Trying to get you the ticket so you could have become a billionaire.
Shoot.
Either way, I got it.
John did not win the Powerball.
So we already talked about Dean Ambrose busting Sheamus open, but of course Kevin Owens attacking from behind. But have no fear, because Dean Ambrose.
That means I'm alive.
That's right, he's still alive.
Loved that. Loved that.
I say it every week. I gotta watch these guys just feud nonstop.
Oh, God. I could just watch Dean Ambrose do anything.
Yeah. Well, there's not everything I want to watch him do. There's some matches from CZW that are cringeworthy.
Oh, really?
Oh, not in a bad
Really?
way. Just they're rough.
The
Yeah.
very hardcore style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Renee will talk him out of that now.
I was.
I love that when he made her check his pulse, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. Just, aw.
Okay. Are they a thing?
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
Are they a thing, Johnny?
Are they a thing?
Are they a thing?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to that.
Yeah, she said it didn't. I thought, don't quote me, I thought that she confirmed it
Well, cool.
on another thing, and she was just like, everybody just needs to shut up.
I agree.
Yeah,
I don't want to know anyone's personal business.
yeah.
No interest.
Let's get back into everyone's personal business.
But then back to personal business.
Make the personal business.
But Dean Ambrose, Kevin Owens, I love how the feud continues. I
Yep.
wonder if this is going to. I imagine we're talking Rumble, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Rumble
A
Race?
Why wouldn't
separate
we?
match.
Yeah, a separate match at the Rumble. I agree with you.
Is Neville involved?
He certainly
He
wasn't.
can't keep
last
up.
night. Yeah, he wasn't last night.
True.
So
What do you think his future holds?
I think Neville's fine. It's just, it hasn't been the greatest, I guess, introduction.
Yeah.
But he's too good to not be super successful. That's
Yeah.
all there is to it. Talent wins out, I think.
Most of the time.
Sometimes.
Most of the time.
Most of
That's
the
a
time.
very broad statement
Yeah.
where
I
can
try to
think of-
believe. I try to believe talent and work ethic wins out in my own career. At least that's what I'm telling myself to keep myself from going crazy.
Yeah,
so I like
that's
to believe
true.
that.
Let's keep telling
Yeah,
ourselves.
most of the time that works out. But Neville could be 2 years away from the fastest elimination Rumble, of that match.
You never know.
You never know.
But either way, Ambrose and Kevin Owens, I believe, we're going to have a match at the Rumble, hopefully. And also, we already talked about the Social Outcasts. They're not afraid of the Wyatt family.
Grab your bottle of penicillin because we're going viral, baby!
I mean, come on.
Wow.
That's great.
Wow.
Heath Slater's been in so many factions. He's been in Nexus.
Yeah.
He's been in the Core.
Yeah.
He's been in three-man
band, the one-man band.
Yeah.
The Oddities. The New Age Outlaws. The Main Street Posse.
Yep.
It's safe to call him a faction guy.
The BWO.
Yeah.
The LWO.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Evolution.
Evolution.
Wow.
Corporate Ministry.
The Four Horsemen. What else? That's about it.
Comedies in 78s. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's everything. Heath Slater's been in a lot of things.
He's been in a lot of factions.
But I love seeing the Social Outcasts. I'm so glad they have music.
What's the song? I gotta find the song.
Oh, you know what it is? If you listen to it close, I think it was the three-man band song. Just a little bit switched up a little bit. Could be wrong, but I believe it's on
available
YouTube.
on iTunes.
I think it is.
It's got a $1.29 coming my way.
Pretty sure it's on YouTube, dude.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So there's
I'll throw it
that.
down.
But you know, them and Ryback got a little bit of comeuppance on the Wyatts, but I think that's okay. Wyatt's obviously didn't lose a match, but I just love the fact Social Outcasts are so just oblivious. They have no fear, whatever. They feel like superheroes,
It's
which
dope.
is cool.
I like this.
Speaking of things that are awesome, not only did Becky Lynch attack Charlotte before she even had a match with Brie Bella, her promo after all that backstage was awesome.
I am the woman that made the champion tap out. I'm the woman who made her give up, made her surrender, and you can be certain that I'm going to do it again.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But
She's incredible.
This is the coming out party for Becky Lynch that we've been talking about. Like, just give her a chance,
Yep.
give her a time,
Let her talk.
and her time's gonna come. And this thing with Charlotte is awesome. I love the fact that she just attacked her, and Ric Flair just got mad.
Yo, what are you gonna do about it, fat boy?
I love
Did you call
it, man.
Becky Lynch Fat Boy?
He was talking to Charles Robinson,
Ah,
but
okay.
I think it's a general because he wanted his sport coat back.
Also cut from Hulu.
What?
You miss all the good stuff.
Wait,
I know.
the attack from Becky was cut from Hulu? Oh my God! I'm pissed.
Okay, now I'm throwing down with Hulu. Come
Look,
on.
Mr. and Mrs. Hulu.
Jeez. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
It's a pay service.
I'm so mad.
What am I paying for? Crackle wouldn't let this happen.
Just who's making these decisions? Like, what? Who's someone's? Bleh, who saw that and was like, nah, delete,
Yeah, you know what, Hulu?
condense. I wish.
I just fired Hulu for you, Scott.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, there you go. You're welcome.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
He's so helpful.
He's very helpful.
Helpful dad.
I mean,
Helpful dad,
Dun, dun,
helpful
dun,
dad,
dun,
always here to do helpful things.
I wonder if I strained my knee if he could help.
I think he could. I heard he's
Or if I hurt my infraspinatus tear.
What about one of my 4 rotator cuffs?
I hate you both.
My cuffs.
Oh, Dad doesn't say that unless he's been drinking his amino acids.
I got him. I'm almost out.
Oh no!
The show must be almost over. It's
Then
almost
the
interview
beatings
time with
begin.
Ken Anderson because my aminos are almost out.
I can't wait.
But yeah, I'm really digging. The Becky Lynch is just, she's an awesome babyface. You want to root for her. You
Yep.
know, she had, her story's great. She started when she was young. She quit for 7 years, which is crazy. And then came back in and taken the world by storm. And I don't know, everything about her is just fantastic. And Charlotte is really playing the heel well. She's running away, which is cool.
It's great.
And I like the fact that Ric Flair's involved. At first I was like, but this is okay. What do you think?
I'm stoked with anything that he's still involved in. We
True.
gotta cherish these moments. Not trying to say like, well, Ric Flair's getting older. You just don't know, and we gotta.
You don't know.
I think we've learned that a lot with a lot of wrestlers over the past
And
couple of years.
David Bowie.
You don't know, like even down to like Hulk Hogan. You don't know the last time you're gonna see someone. So if you love him now, you gotta cherish him. And
Perfect example. I mean, with Roddy.
And
I was
Roddy,
lucky enough
that's
to
a-
see him twice a few weeks before before he passed away. I was able to see him twice in a matter of like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
so I at first probably was like, he's I don't know. Even with Vince, down to Vince. At first I was like, really? All right, I'm excited to see him back. Okay, all right, he's like my grandfather. You gotta cherish all the time you have with him. So I love this feud.
Well said.
Yeah, it's like the Powerball.
Digging it for sure.
So yeah, I just
Not a lot of other diva stuff going on at all right now.
they need something.
Yeah, Yeah.
Yeah, where's Paige?
Is she injured?
She was, and then she rehabilitated,
Okay.
and then
we know
I
Nikki's
thought
hurt.
she was fine again. So I don't know what's.
Well, we know Nikki's hurt because Brie and
Yeah.
Alicia are baby faces again, I guess. We haven't seen Team Bad. I mean, this is really,
We got
Andrews
WrestleMania rolling around. Put them out there.
hopefully they'll be healthy because we
Yes.
we would love to see some awesome women's matches at WrestleMania.
Yes.
That'd be pretty
Matches. Yeah, not just all of them
Matches.
in one thing.
I'd love to
Exactly.
see a Diva Rumble, Royal Rumble.
That'd be cool.
That'd be real cool.
Maybe a Fastlane.
Book it. Diva Rumble.
I'll book it.
Okay.
Done.
Okay.
Now, this past week, Impact Wrestling had their live debut, which Ken Anderson and I talked about last week. It was fun. It was really fun. They did a bunch of tapings in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, but their live event went on last Tuesday. As we record our evening tonight, we're going to have the second episode. But we have a new heavyweight champion. The World Title Series is over, Scotty.
It's over. It's over. I can't believe it.
And it's trouble, trouble, trouble. EC3, once again, in a fantastic match with Matt Hardy, defeated him in the finals. So
It only took him 7 months.
took 7 months, but the
Got him back.
It was EC3 and Matt Hardy, and at the end of the World Title Series, once again it was them two. Matt Hardy walked away in disappointment while his wife and child were there, and EC3 is the new TNA champion, World Heavyweight Champion.
It's very exciting. I'm glad. You know, I thought about this the other day that TNA to me is like the on and off relationship you have with a gal, where it's like, well, it didn't work out.
Mine usually fizzle pretty fast.
Well, mine usually it's a burn bridge rather quickly. But it's like you meet back up and you go, hey, how you been? Oh, there's a lot of weird stuff that happened in between. Yeah, I was in a dark place too. And that's what happened in this last year of TNA.
It's a really good.
And now it's back. It's like, it's good to see you. You look healthy. You're doing well. Like, I'm so happy to be a part of this again.
Yeah.
And let's give this another shot.
That means I'm alive.
Let's try friendship first, and then like move on to maybe a date, like coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
and
enjoy the date.
I feel
No,
that's
you're
what
right. I
TNA
think
is
the end of Destination
right now.
America was odd, and it seems like Pop is all on board. And from what a couple people I know that were at the tapings, they said they were awesome. They were
That's
really
great.
fun. The good crowd, and I'm very, very happy because we want to see it be great.
Mm-hmm.
And so EC3 is a new champion. It's hard too because like I was thinking, what is EC3 better, chasing and angry, or is he better as champ? He's so good at both.
Yeah.
I almost think like he's better on the throne, looking down on everybody. So I think it's a good move.
I forgot. I wanted to give a shout out to at Denson Dan on Twitter.
He went.
He sent out a picture and said, "This weekend I learned that Kurt Jerks and I didn't have enough points to qualify for the world title."
Dan Denson's
Hashtag
hilarious.
well shit. And then he had a great seat.
Look at that beard.
What's his Twitter?
At Denson Dan.
Yeah.
He's there right next to the commentator table, as you told me before I had a chance to watch it. There's a commentator table again in the arena.
Yes.
Not some weird bunker.
And they're also going to be filming next in the UK, which those crowds are going to be on fire.
Oh, yeah.
But shout out to Dan Denson. He's a very funny dude, and I think he probably took his son with him, I believe, which is probably a really fun thing.
Oh, yeah,
so,
that's cool.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. We had a reunion of Beer Money. So James Storm had a cup of coffee at NXT. Obviously didn't happen. So now, bam, Beer Money back together.
It's not a bad thing.
For DNA, it's fine. Beer Money was very successful.
Yeah, as an audience member, that makes me very happy.
That's automatically a high-level tag team that can jump into the tag picture with anybody. So, pretty cool stuff
And great
there.
segments, which is always key to a good wrestling show. They'll do great segments.
Let's hope so. And we had the debut of the Miracle, Michael Bennett, along with Maria Kanellis. Maria, obviously, she calls herself the First Lady of Wrestling. I dug it. I like the way Michael Bennett came out in like the suit and like the Panama Jack hat. I dug it. And
Is that what
Maria...
you call those?
I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Maybe?
Yeah, no, I hadn't thought of it. Where it's like, oh yeah, I guess that would be a Panama jacket.
I guess.
No, I like it.
I might be wrong.
I don't question it in a bad way.
I'm wrong a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
As most dads are.
Hashtag wrong dad. But Maria's fantastic.
Turn this podcast around.
No, I'll turn it around right now. But Maria's always good.
Oh yeah.
She's always good, and I really like what they did in the ring, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do and who they piss off collectively as a unit.
Yeah,
So
I think they got a good act going.
yeah, solid first episode. They had a pay-per-view Friday night. Didn't get a chance to see it. I know they set up some matches on on the first episode. But either way, good start.
Sure.
We're looking forward to it.
We still got some angle left.
Yeah. He, I believe, was wrestling in that pay-per-view on Friday night.
Okay. Well, hopefully you'll be on Impact soon and not have a surprise pay-per-view like, oh, yeah, by the way, it's a pay-per-view if you want to.
Did you know it was coming? I did not know it was coming.
No, I don't really know what it's called. I wanted to know the weird pay-per-view name.
I don't think they said the name.
Just TNA PPV?
I guess.
$35?
I didn't know.
What would you have called this pay-per-view, Carrlyn?
TNA PPV sounds pretty good. I don't know. That sounds, that's exactly what I would have called it. So.
It could have been. But that's pretty much everything we got right now. So, Scotty, are we
Do we have time, or do you want to just go to Ken?
How long do you think of a discussion is this one?
It's going to be a couple minutes.
What are we going to talk about?
Do you want to save it for next week?
What are we going to talk about?
We can save it for the
Well,
future.
Scotty has a
What are
new
we gonna talk
segment.
about?
Scotty has a new segment.
I just don't want to. I don't want to take up all the time. You know.
No, you're
What's
not
your
taking
segment?
up all the time.
You have a segment?
I have a segment.
Scotty has a segment called "What You Gonna Choose."
Yeah, I like to talk about all things silly. You go off the rails. I enjoy that very much.
I think
Being on
Carrlyn
point
wants
is,
to do it.
Is very.
Let's do it, and then we'll jump right into Ken Anderson.
Well then, you know, it's sort of a would you rather scenario. You have to choose between these two things, and I'll open it up to questioning.
This is great.
So you can ask all the questions about these scenarios. Now we have two titans of the wrestling industry that are running their respective companies. We have Dixie Carter, as seen in the picture above there, in case you didn't know for some reason. We have Dixie Carter, and of course we have Vince McMahon. Who would you rather work for as their personal messenger? Dixie Carter or Vince McMahon?
Oh, boy.
What you gonna choose, brother?
Personal messenger?
Personal messenger.
Oh, without question.
Vince.
Yeah.
I feel like I could get over with him.
Oh,
Did you see
yeah.
the way he was dancing with Stephanie
You
last
could.
night? But that, he's a goofball.
You could. And I'm a very laid back. I have a easy temperament, so I don't mind. I can handle an intense personality.
Now,
Plus,
now
I've heard so many horror stories about the latter. I don't really want to.
Now, of course, working as a personal messenger for Vince, you're going to have to inform him of the entire injured list. Letting him know all these top stars that are not going to be available for WrestleMania.
I know you're playing devil's advocate, and there's an easy one for me.
I can do that.
Yeah.
I can
ready
step
to
up.
do that?
I can step up to
He's
that.
talked me out of my answer before. He talked me into getting tattoos all over my body.
He's like a lawyer.
I know.
This is crazy.
I'm just letting you know. You never seem to have questions about these scenarios, Johnny. You just jump right in and say, like, oh, I'll take this, not knowing the good or the bad.
He's challenging you.
I know. I know enough bad, and I know my answer.
He's challenging you.
No, I'm just trying to...
He's challenging you.
You know your answer.
I know. Vince McMahon.
You have,
Well,
to,
he's
you
also...
have to go tell Vince McMahon personally and say, oh, by the way, John Cena's injured and won't be at WrestleMania.
Here's the thing. Listen. He's an old man.
Johnny?
No.
It's right there.
No. Sorry, Johnny.
Oh,
No, Vince. Older guy. I am a young woman. I feel like I could just convince him that that's okay. That he's not at WrestleMania.
Okay.
John Cena.
He's rather hostile. Dixie Carter, a sweet Southern belle.
Oh,
I don't think
very
she'd like
charming.
me.
You don't think so?
Probably not. It's like she'd probably love Johnny.
maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, and you would have to inform her that Taryn Terrell is done with TNA.
Oh, I'm sure she had no trouble telling her herself.
Dixie Carter's always open to new ideas and maybe might say, you know, that leaves us open for a personality of a lady on our television.
We could be pals. We could
See,
be.
listen to him.
He's convincing me. Girl power. You know what I mean? It's 2016.
Yeah, Vince is going to constantly ask you how much you lift.
I have no problem with that.
Build your body more.
I have no problem with that.
Ridicule your body for what it is.
Hey, when I'm lifting,
Triple H will come by and wedgie you on
dude,
a daily
when I'm
basis.
lifting
This
every day,
sounds like-
you know what that means?
That means I'm alive.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Who's going to check your pulse?
Somebody.
If it's Stephanie, then Vince is going to have words with you.
I believe it or not, I know how to check a pulse, Scott.
He's a physical therapist, Scott.
I didn't say it.
Is he?
I didn't say it. I know my answer.
Man could check a pulse.
All right.
This
So
is the easiest what you're going to choose for me ever.
It certainly is when you don't ask any questions.
I don't need to ask any questions.
All right. So that's your choice. Would you like to?
Yeah, I mean, I already agreed to, be a young boy for Akabona last week or no? Yeah, I'm okay with that, but I'm sticking to my answer. Yes.
Okay.
Carrlyn.
I'm sticking Vince.
Okay.
Yeah. Although I would like to see some girl power. I feel like I wouldn't just be her messenger. Maybe she'd,
The new general manager.
help me. Yeah, like bring me like alongside her. But
I like that.
I just feel, I don't know. I feel like Vince would be funny.
Tweet your answers, listeners, at
Yeah.
Wrestling Buds.
And that was What You Gonna Choose? Brother. All right, let's get into part 2 of the interview with Ken Anderson. He answers a lot of your fan questions, and thank you for sending them in to us. Of course, find him on Twitter at Mr. Ken Anderson, and he's just a great friend, and I really hope you enjoy the interview. Enjoy! You know, we had a lot of fans tweet in questions, and while we're talking about fans too, yesterday we were talking about how awesome, like we have a pretty big international fan base. And obviously, American fans can be amazing, but like international, there's just something about them where they're just
special.
Yeah,
and I don't
speak to that. Go ahead.
Well, I was remarking to a British friend yesterday while we were watching the game that it was that person's first American football game. Mm-hmm. Had to explain the rules, things like that, and I said, it's interesting because American fans, I've been to a soccer match or a football match over in England, and American fans were limited to a maximum of 3-syllable chants. Go, pack, go.
Right.
You know, things like that. Yes,
yep.
Yes, that kind of stuff. The British fans they'll do
a soliloquy.
They will do, one person will start out saying, there once was a man from Nantucket, and then the rest of the crowd joins in, whose day was so long? Yeah. They will do the whole thing, the entire thing, and it's just amazing. I remember a couple months ago, it was Halloween, I was in Preston, England, doing a show. And it was a Halloween show, so everybody was dressed up as different characters, and I came out dressed up as Super Mario. But one of the girls was in the ring with Mickie James and Magnus, mm-hmm. and they were shit-talking her, and she was dressed up as Princess Peach.
Nice.
And so they hit some music. Every year for that promotion, somebody comes out dressed as the Grim Reaper, and then they pull it off, and it's like a big surprise for the audience, whoever it is. And so this year he asked me to do it, and then he wanted me to dress up as Super Mario to go save Princess Peach.
Sure.
And so I come out and I'm wearing
Dun.
Well, wait. So they're doing the Grim Reaper thing. I get in the ring and I just stand there and I was like, "Do you know what my name is?" And then I said, "My name is Mister."
So wait, you were Super Mario?
And I pulled the thing off and I go, "Mario!" And then, so we start going. We start wrestling. Magnus and I are in the ring. So it turns into a mixed tag.
Sure.
And Nick and Magnus and I start off in the ring, and literally the crowd started. There was about 800, 900 people in attendance, and somebody started da-da-da-da-da-da, and the rest of the crowd did the entire...
No way.
They did the whole thing.
When you're like, I was gonna say, when you're taking the heat, it's like, yeah, you're like trying to get. So wait, it was you wrestled with Peach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah,
nice.
She was my tag partner, and then Mickey was Magnus's tag partner,
and they were just themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Who was Peach?
A girl named Viper.
Okay,
she's a British wrestler.
Hope you guys
fantastic.
Hope you guys went over. Or did Luigi come in and make the save?
Yeah, actually, she at one point threw in a box, it was done up like a brick, like one of the bricks in Super Mario.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I popped it open, and it was a mushroom.
Dude, that is so fun.
Fired up, and did the Ultimate Warrior on the ropes.
Yeah.
And then did my, hit him with a bunch of stuff, and 1, 2, 3. I actually grabbed her, picked her up. She's a big girl.
Sure.
And I picked her up and did the Finley roll onto Magnus.
Love it.
And then had her pin Mickey, and I pinned Magnus at the same time.
Well done.
I
imagine
I actually had her pin Magnus. So.
I hope they filmed that.
Yes.
Good. Is that somewhere?
I think it's on YouTube. If you look up Preston City Wrestling.
Okay.
PCW UK.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, you should be able to find it.
I love it. Well, the international fans, they're amazing. I mean, there's the stuff they come up with, like you said, it's mind-boggling that they all just jump on board together.
Yep.
And so what I did was I reached out to some of our fans and some of your fans, and so we got a whole bunch of questions. We'll get through what we can get through. Some are easy, some are funny. First one.
No, I don't have a fluffer before I go. I just,
That was actually question off.
There you go.
Get rid of question 6.
Just get out of the way right away.
That was actually my question. From at @pocket_Wookie, our buddy Peter Moore is a very talented artist, actually. What's your go-to pump-up music?
Okay. Some of my one of my favorite bands right now, I love them, is a band that is sort of on the rise right now. And they've opened for Judas Priest,
Led Zeppelin,
for Black Label Society or Zakk Wylde. No, it's a band out of Texas called Texas Hippie Coalition, and they're just phenomenal. They have sort of a hard rock, sort of. The guy's got a really unique voice, the lead singer, and I've actually become friends with the bassist.
Oh hell yeah!
And John Exel, and he's just a phenomenal guy. Single father of, I believe, 5 or 7 kids.
What?
Single father, and he does the full. One of the nicest human beings. Yeah. So, yeah. He just recently got remarried to a wonderful woman, and reached out to me recently and asked me. This is my favorite band, and I've never said anything to. I didn't want to ask for anything or anything like that, but I asked him. Or he reached out to me and said, "Hey man, we'd like to do some entrance music for you if you're down with it." And I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Get the hell out of here!
So, it's been sort of a process, and and he asked me. He said, "Do you want just music?" And I was like, "No, I mean, I need to have the lead singer has the most unique voice. You guys have to check this.
Texas Hippie Coalition. I'll check him out too.
It's phenomenal, and the guy's got such a unique voice. And the lead singer's like 400 pounds. He's a big boy.
Hell yeah,
awesome.
I went
to see them when they were in Minneapolis, and it was so fun.
So there's a chance we might see some new...
and then recently he just reached out to me. I guess he's going to be doing some independent wrestling and asked me if I could help him out with some... So I'm trying to, right now, find a place in Minneapolis or Wisconsin or somewhere, and he's going to come, and we're going to spend some time, and I'm going to show him a thing or two.
The front man? The big guy?
The bassist.
Oh, the bassist. I meant the big
John
guy,
Exel.
the 400-pounder was going to...
No, John's a big guy, too. He's a big boy. I mean, not... he's muscular, like he's built.
That's exciting to know that the music's coming, though.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah.
And
then it's got to get approved by...
of course.
But, yeah. So.
I dig that. You've been all over the world. What are a few spots that stand out as the greatest to you that you've traveled to?
Interestingly, people ask me all the time, what's your favorite country to travel to? Mm-hmm. And there are countries that I love to visit, but my favorite place to travel is the United States of America. I mean,
hell yeah.
We don't understand how good we have it here.
Right.
I mean, you go to a country like England. I love England. I love traveling over there. But it's sort of like going back in the time warp as far as technology. I mean, the internet capabilities over there. You can be out in the middle of the country here almost and have Wi-Fi, or not Wi-Fi, but you have cellular coverage, cellular data coverage, and it's just. I'll be in hotels over there and connect to the Wi-Fi within the room, and it feels to me like it's probably not anywhere near this, but it feels like when I was in college, sitting in the little computer room with the dial-up.
I remember those days. Yeah,
it just took forever. You'd click on a site, and it would take at least a minute to load the page. Mm-hmm. It was brutal, but Tokyo and Melbourne, Australia are two of my favorite. Anywhere in Australia.
I've heard. I've never been.
Love Australia.
I want to go really bad.
Had one of my worst... I want to go back there because I had such a bad experience in New Zealand. Bunch of us went out. Our first night we got to New Zealand, and we were in Auckland, I think, and we went out all night. Went to breakfast as the sun was coming up. Got back to the hotel. Now I've got to get a couple hours sleep. I'm just exhausted. I go up to my room. For some reason that day, all of a sudden I hear like, "Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for the interruption." And it was a guy on a megaphone outside. They had a big bus and they were protesting the hotel. It was a bunch of workers that had been protesting the hotel for wages or something like that. And they literally had these speakers and they were blasting at the at the hotel, the woohoo, 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 woohoo.
Oh, hell yeah.
But I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And I went down, I remember going down to the front desk and just like my shorts, and I was probably cussing, and I was like, you have to move me to a different room. This is bullshit. And eventually they ended up moving me to the other side of and I said, like, I don't want to move my shit. I just want to just get me in a room right now. Because I know it wasn't full occupancy, but I turned into the asshole that I'm.
Little grumpy cat.
Grumpy cat Ken.
Grumpy cat Ken. Coming on out. Here's one from our buddy Chris Gentry, at CGentry71, who's actually a veteran himself.
I feel like I know that guy.
Really nice guy. Lives out this way. Not this way. Lives like southern California. But he wants to know the parallels, like, in training for the military. Was there a lot of stuff that kind of helped you when it came to wrestling? Maybe whether conditioning or just like toughing it out, like that kind of deal.
I think everything that I did in the military, I think it helps me in everything in life. Something that I wish more people would do. I wish everybody would sort of go through it. I remember having a real problem with authority when I was a kid. And when I got to boot camp, look, I knew when I got to boot camp that I wasn't going to be able to test authority and I wasn't going to be able to push it. So I just sort of, but it really forced me to, sometimes in life, I think most of the time, when you are an employee of a company, you need to do.
Yeah, you got to bend a little bit.
Unless it's something completely immoral or unethical. You need to do first and then ask questions later, like, look, I did it? No. And it just, and that ethic of, I used to have terrible time getting to places on time. I was terrible with time management, and I would be late for everything. I'd always be late for work, and I'd always be late for school, and I'd be late for everything. And they really taught me, look, you get the back plan. You get there 15 minutes early. Now, I would rather get to a place if I have to be there at, say, 10 o'clock in the morning. I would rather get there at 9:15 or 9:30 and be able to have a cup of coffee and get acclimated and everything like that, and never have to worry about it being late. And then when you plan for stuff like that, when you get into a traffic jam or there's an accident or something happens, there's a good chance that you're still going to make it on time.
There you go.
And then you don't have to come up with excuses. So that was something that really...
Being prompt and punctual, obviously, with wrestling, that's a big thing, too. So that probably helped.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a good question and good answer. These are it's kind of a two-parter here from at the Nick Glancy. Actually, two guys from overseas, I believe, both from England. At the Nick Glancy and at Matty D95DX. They basically want, and I know you've told this story before, but it's just a great story about how your character, you got to OVW in 2005, just how the character developed when it came down to the, obviously with not even just the mic dropping, but just how Mr. Anderson started.
Well, then I have to rewind a little bit more because that actually started out when I first started wrestling. My first year in the business, I was still trying to struggle to figure out who Ken Anderson was, who Kamikaze Ken Anderson was. And I remember I'd broken up with this girl, and I was over at my buddy's house, one of the guys who had trained me, Eric Hammers. And he was sitting on the couch, and Cujo, another good friend of mine that I started out in the wrestling business with, was sitting there. And I had learned that one of my best friends outside of the wrestling business was almost immediately, like the day after I broke up with this girl, was spending some extra quality time with this girl. And I remember calling him and just like, oh, you think that's fun, huh? Hey, don't worry. Hey, no problem. Or whatever. It was just like really animated, and that's the way I am when I get heated and pissed off.
Sure.
And these guys were silently like laughing, rolling around on the floor and popping silently. And I was pissed too. I got off the phone and I was like, what? And Eric looked at me, he goes, if you ever wonder what your character is in wrestling, he's like, just remember that, because that should be you all the time when you're out there. And it's like, oh yeah,
there you go.
So I sort of recall that, actors, one of the lessons you learn in acting classes is to sort of recall memories that are similar to whatever you're trying to depict. on screen. And so that was something. So then I get to OVW, and remember I cut promos, and I sort of always thought I wanted to do something with a military drill sergeant type thing, because those are some of my fondest memories too. Some of the stuff that the drill sergeants would say.
I bet.
I remember this guy tried killing himself. He drank some bleach or something like that, or some.
Damn.
I wasn't bleach. It was some cleaning solution or something like that. So what they do is they don't let you go home. They make you go do KP duty and sit in the kitchen for like the next 6 weeks.
Where all the bleach is.
Yeah, but
Jesus.
You work from sun up to sundown.
Yeah.
Every single day, Monday through Sunday, and basically, then you get to watch you serving food to all the people that you were working with or training with, and then you get to see all those people on graduation day with their families come down there. You're serving food to them and their families and things like that. So I remember this guy. The drill sergeants show you no love, and they don't show any sort of sympathy or anything like that. I remember this little drill sergeant was walking on. We were out in formation in front of our barracks, and there was this little railing that was probably a foot wide, not even. Mm-hmm. And I remember he was marching, not even looking down. He was like looking like he was marching like Hitler.
Okay.
And he was back and forth. And he was like, "Privates, if you failed to kill yourself, you have fucking failed miserably. Privates, if you want to kill yourselves, please come talk to me. I'll take you up top that fucking water tower, hold you by your ankles so you can get the maximum fucking smash when you hit the ground."
Oh my God.
And I just remember that's like some of my favorite things. I'd be sending information like,
yeah.
And I sort of started applying that to my
character
promos and things like that.
Because a guy like that,
cadence and
a guy like that, I mean, that's almost hard to believe. You know what I mean?
They were very serious about it.
Sure,
like,
but it's like for those of us civilians, it's hard to believe that that's how. But that's how drill sergeants are.
Yeah.
How they're trained to be.
Yeah.
And it's virtually a character.
Yeah.
Damn.
And so I'm down there, and I remember Dave Lagana coming out to me. They sent the writers down, all the creative department. They sent them down, and we had to do interviews in front of them. They gave us a minute to do a promo, and then we had to have like a little 5-minute match with somebody that paired us up with them. Then we sort of talked to them, and in the hopes that they would see something in us to bring us up to the active roster. And I remember talking to Dave Lagana, and he's like, there's something there. I can't figure out what it is with your voice, and doing something with. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll brainstorm a little bit. And then Jim Cornette was basically...
Speaking of voices.
He was heading up OVW, and he was the head trainer, and he wrote the television, and he was the lead announcer, and all that stuff. And he got in trouble, and he got fired. And then the next week, they brought in Paul Heyman. Now, every week, we would do interviews... once every month, they would send Paul Heyman down to OVW, and he would sit in a room with us, and we would do promos. And then he would give us a critique, and then we would go home, and then we would come back the next day and apply whatever he had given you as far as criticisms.
Sure.
Try to apply it, and then do it again, and then he would give you some more criticism or whatever, and then out the door you'd go. And I remember... I'd go into the room with him, I would cut my promo, and he would say, maybe, I remember the first time I sat down and I did a promo against somebody who wasn't really high up on the card in WWE, and he was like, he says, that's fine, but if you put yourself there now, and you don't go after somebody like a John Cena or an Undertaker, that's what they're going to see you as, just a mid-carder or low-card guy or whatever. So, okay. So I always did my promos on Undertaker or John Cena or somebody like that.
Yep.
After. And so he'd give me a little piece of advice. I'd go home, I'd retool it, and I'd come back the next day and I would do it. And I'm waiting for this feedback or, a pat on the back at least, or a criticism of some sort. And he would just say, okay, thank you. I would be like, any feedback or anything like that? Nope, loved it. It's almost like when you go in for an audition, and you go in and they're like, thank you very much for your time, appreciate it.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
Wonderful job.
Yeah, that happens every time that I mention wrestling when I go in for an audition.
There you
have a great that was a great audition. Tell what do you do? Like, you're a wrestler? Like, yeah, I'm a professional wrestler. I've been part of a scripted episodic television show for the last 10 years. Okay, well, no, thank you. I don't say it in exactly those words. Whatever. Like, I'm trying to be a little more humble than that, but
sure.
And then you can see they can almost there's like a penis grows out of my forehead, and they pull out the hook.
Have you thought about doing a puppet with that?
The sailboat, perhaps. But so then Paul Heyman comes in to write. I'm thinking, like, this guy doesn't like me. He thinks I'm the shits. And he comes down. He pulls me off to the side the very first day he was there, and he said, "I am gonna do." He goes, "You're the next guy out of here." And I was like, "Huh?"
What?
He goes, "I've been a fan of your work for like the last 3 years. I watched you on Independence, and I watched you when you come do tryouts for WWE." And he says, "I've been a fan of yours." And he goes, "I'm going to do so much stuff with you over the course of the next few months that they're going to have to pull you up. It's just not going to be an option." And I was like, "Wow." I mean, it was pretty cool to hear from a guy that you respect. And literally, it was an hour show, and that night I had about 40 minutes of television time.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was crazy. And every week after that, and he goes, "Tonight I want you to go out there." I don't think it was the very first night. No, it was the very first night. He said, "I want you to go out there, and as the ring announcer is saying your name, I want you to cut him off, and I want you to, run him down, talk trash to him, and then do your own introduction." And I was like, okay. And I used to announce basketball games when I was in high school, and I would always do the, at center, 6'2", 215 pounds, Jose Luis Garcia.
Nice. Okay.
Remember, like, all the kids and parents from even the opposing schools would come over and say, like, "I really like that." And it's really funny when you say the last name twice.
Sure.
I didn't have it planned out. I went out to the ring and did the whole thing, cut him down. I said, "From Green Bay, Wisconsin, Mr. Anderson." And I just, like, Anderson. I hit it, and I literally had a 30-minute match with Brent Albright that night. Got to the back, and it wasn't like that was an awesome match. It was, dude, that was so funny when you said your last name twice. And when the boys like something,
yep,
we've seen everything. When we're the hardest people to impress and entertain, so I knew I had a winner there, and then I just sort of. So that was a very long-winded explanation.
That's what everyone wants to hear, man. They love those kind of answers, All right, let's see. We got okay. I like this one. This is from at that vicious one. Let's talk some legends. Any excuse me? Any fun or cool interactions over the years with either Dusty Rhodes, Roddy Piper, Vern Gagne, or Nick Bockwinkel?
Okay, I got a Roddy Piper story.
Oh man,
I've told this before. You've heard this before, but
Roddy had stories too. Holy God! Every time I hung out with Roddy, there'd be another story, and I'm like, "How many lives have you lived?" Amazing,
phenomenal guy.
Yeah, he's such an amazing human being. Yeah,
I always liked. Remember, he was the guy that every time he'd see you, how you doing, kid? Yeah. He'd pat you on the cheek and tussle your hair a little bit. Like, pinch your cheek almost. Like, look at those cheeks. Mm-hmm. But he was just such a nice guy. Very caring individual. I got booked on a television show, sort of a Saturday Night Live sketch comedy show called Friends of the People. It was on True TV.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And we go to Brooklyn, and we're at a furniture store, and we did this thing where I've posted it places. You can see it. It's furniture store, True TV, Friends of the People on YouTube. I posted it on my Facebook and things like that before. So we do this thing where I work for one furniture company, and Piper's working for another furniture company because I run Anderson's furniture store, and we're kicking the crap out of this other store, and so they bring in Roddy Piper to body slam customers and drop elbows on them and chair shot them into buying furniture. And
it's like bar rescue.
Things like that. It's really, it's sort of funny. It really is funny. So anyway, we do this whole thing, and then at the end of the day, we're done shooting, and we have to go back to our base where all of our clothing is and change and all that stuff. Roddy's wearing the kilt, and I'm wearing my tights and my boots and elbow pads and all this stuff, and I'm all oiled up. And
sure. Well, when aren't you? I mean,
you got some baby oil right there. Who's got baby oil? So we're walking. We decide, hey, look, it's only 3 blocks away. If we wait for this van, it's 6 p.m. in Brooklyn.
Oh, it's awful. Yeah,
it's going to be a 3-hour car ride. We can walk it in 5 minutes. Let's just walk it. So here we are walking through Brooklyn. Piper is wearing damn kilts and literally we're walking by people and they're just sort of like, they just look over and like,
New York.
Whatever. It's, it's this guy wearing a kilt and the guy wearing tights. It's like, no big deal. It was just so... To me, that was funny.
That must have been awesome to work with him, though.
It was. It was phenomenal. And then I got the chance to do, about a year later, I did his podcast. It was about 6 months before he passed away.
Yeah.
So, we had a good interview. So
he's, he was one of a kind. And so many, that's the crazy thing about him is everybody has a Piper story.
You've got some good ones.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, and who am I? You know what I mean? It's like, he touched a lot of lives when almost everybody, like so many comics at the Comedy Store all have a Piper story. Because he would just, the last couple of years of his life, would just come down and hang out at the Comedy Store. Oh. And it was just so overly, like, respectful to comedy and the genre, And that means you touched a lot of lives when everyone has, like, oh, yeah, I did this with Piper.
Uh-huh.
That's crazy.
And they remember, like, insignificant things, too.
Yeah. It's really amazing.
I held the door for him one time. Like, dude, we had a 1 second interaction, and he said "boo" to me, and I was just the way he said it. It was just amazing.
Yeah, he would just go into the main room at the Comedy Store after all the shows were done and just sit there and play piano, and whoever wanted to hang out would just hang out. Sometimes he'd just be by himself, just playing piano, just like
I didn't know that he played piano.
Yeah, just like a little therapeutic thing that he would do, and
that's awesome.
He was a special one, man. I mean, it was my last interaction was really cool. I do commentary for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and our biggest event of the year is the Red Carpet Rumble. And this past year, we had our event, and there was another company out of Portland, I think. And Roddy's kid had just started wrestling, Colt, who he had done MMA and started wrestling, and Colt was in a match, and so we allowed them to do 3 of their own matches on our event for the simpatico kind of come on in, that kind of thing. So us announcers would switch out headsets with their people. Well, they brought in Roddy to do commentary, especially for Colt's match. And I remember every time I got the headset back, it was pretty sweaty,
drenched.
Yeah. And so, and of course, Roddy and I knew each other. I don't know how well he knew me, but clearly we'd hung out before. Yeah. And finally, we were crossing back after when I was going back to the headset. After the last time, I was like, "Hey, Roddy, why don't you stop sweating on my headset so goddamn much?" And he looks at me and goes, you, and like grabs my cheek and like quick. I'm like, that's my last interaction with Roddy Piper. I'm completely okay with that. You know what I mean? Like that was really
that's funny.
One more question, and then we'll close her out because I've been making you sit here for quite a while now. So let's say 10, 15 years down the road, is there anything that pops in your brain that you would like to be doing, whether it involves the business or doesn't involve the business? Does it involve an island? Like, is there anything you'd like to, besides puppetry, is there anything that sticks out? Keep in mind, 15 years from now, your kids are going to be like graduating high school.
I'd really like to try pole dancing just once in my life,
I like that move.
Yeah. No, God, I do not want to subject anybody to that torture, but, I've really been thinking about this a lot. I'm 39 years old, can't do it forever, don't want to do it forever. I mean, I would love to, but so I'm starting to think, like, what's phase 2, what's next? And one of the things that I really enjoy is training students, and I guess imparting what wisdom I do have about the business and my experiences with other people. And I've been doing that a lot over in the UK.
Nice.
Training, doing seminars and camps and things like that. And it's something I really enjoy doing. I love doing. Even I find it to be sort of therapeutic. Even people that are frustrating to work with, that are really bad. I mean, you get some students that are just like, this guy's never.
But that makes it a challenge for you to be like, all right, can I get these students to get it?
And to remain calm and to get it. They don't necessarily have to get it the way that I get it or the way that somebody else is, but to get it in their own way. And that's something that I've always used Austin Aries as an example for this because everybody does a belly to back suplex, but nobody does it the way that Austin Aries does it. Every move that he does has a certain English to it.
He is so original.
Yes, no matter what he does a body slam. It looks different than a normal body slam. And this is like I always try to tell people, like take pieces from these people and this guy and that girl and whatever, and make it your own, right? So that's something that I've been really enjoying. I mean, it's challenging to try to figure out how to. Okay, this person is not getting this. It's not. How do I get them to get it? Breaking it down. So that's definitely something I'm actually thinking about starting up a wrestling school in Minneapolis, where I live right now. There aren't any really good wrestling schools around there at this time, and it's a pretty big area, 2 million people.
Minneapolis is a huge area of the Midwest. I mean, I think that'd be a great idea.
Yeah, and that's really.
Can I be a tackle dummy?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Good. Just give me a little helmet. I'm good.
Little helmet and some water wings.
Yeah.
So
water wings.
I don't know why you need the water wings.
Give me some or floaties. It'll help my elbow out.
Just in case you have a bowl of soup, we gotta get you.
Yeah, I tend to fall on my elbows. So
yeah. And other than that, I'd like to, win the lottery and be able to buy a yacht and just freaking sail around the world.
A good plan.
Yeah.
Or even if you can't get a yacht, say you win like a minor state lottery, you just still buy a little dinghy.
A little dinghy.
Just float around.
Yeah, a little dinghy.
Quit playing with your dinghy. You know what I mean? That'll never get old.
Just float around in one of those, if like a plane crashes, you have the little life rafts or whatever.
Call it the SS Minnow. See what happens.
There you go.
Just go for a 3-hour tour and
get sunburned.
No, that'd be amazing.
No, it wouldn't.
No, probably not. I go for the yacht. Let's win the big ass lottery.
Yes, and I'm sorry. Yes, and
yes, and this has been really, really fun. And let's see what else. Obviously Twitter at Mr. Ken Anderson.
Yeah, Mr. Ken Anderson.
Instagram
at Mr. spelled out Mister for those who are spelling challenged.
There you go.
Challenged.
Impact Wrestling on Pop TV. Check your local listings every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. You're going to be a huge part of that. We can't wait for that. And I don't know. What else?
Don't send me any Facebook requests because I won't accept them.
There you go.
No, honestly, that's the one thing. I have my Instagram and I have my Twitter, but I keep my Facebook for my friends and family and coworkers and things like that.
Got to do it. We can't thank you. No, this has been a lot of fun. So yeah, Mr. Ken Anderson. I'm not even going to try. I tried to give your intro. I tried to do it on the tour and I failed miserably.
You did it a year ago.
Yeah, and I failed that. Yeah, I wasn't good at it. I don't want to. All right. Can I?
Go ahead, please.
Okay. So we're doing it backwards. Instead of bringing him in like this, I'm going to get away from the mic. So this is going to be
the winner of the match.
And the winner of the match,
once again,
from it's weird with you staring at me. From Green Bay, Wisconsin. Yeah.
Gotta get the nah in there.
Mr. Anderson. Wait for it. Anderson. I went movie trailer voice on you.
Damn, brother, you got some lungs on you.
That's
Look at
right.
the lungs. And that bass in his voice.
I'm going to be a man real soon.
Say it like you mean it.
That's Mr. Ken Anderson. And that was part 2 of the sit-down I had with Ken Anderson. Very, very soon, we're going to have the entire video up from start to finish on AfterBuzz TV, which would be really cool if you want to go back and watch that. But he's the best.
Exclusive VIP video.
Exclusive VIP video from start to finish, the entire interview. Because I cut a couple of things out. This will be the whole thing.
Whoa.
Yeah. Exclusive!
Uncut, uncensored.
Very uncensored. So uncensored.
That sounds wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Is that what's on the wrist, by the way?
I
Is
have an Apple Watch on, and
boy.
it's still telling me...
Wait, you do?
Brand new Apple Watches!
Yeah!
Oh, man.
Which of J&J Security did you beat up?
The both of them. So
Understandable.
Better turn left on Burbank.
that's what it's telling me. That's what it's telling. And I don't know how
Is
to
it
shut
navigating
it off.
you?
Still, but I'm here. I've been here.
Wait, you use your watch to navigate? That sounds dangerous.
It vibrates, so it tells you where to go.
I think Seth Rollins is in
sure
danger
it
somewhere,
does.
and he needs you to go find him. He's left on Burbank Boulevard.
No, you know
boy.
where you know where he is right now? That's where he is.
Which is right off of Burbank Boulevard.
Well, okay.
Apparently so.
Wow, I don't know. That's too much technology for old fun dad here.
I kind of
Not
hate
into
it. You are, well,
Not into it.
You'll get into it.
I don't need an Apple Watch.
No, his
thank you.
microphone is on a crank. Like he has to wind it every so often to keep it going.
That's how I get my soundboard to work every week.
oh, Dad.
I don't know. It's good for you if you know how to use that thing. It looks
I
a little
don't.
too small for my fat fingers. I'm not interested.
They have a bigger one by 3 millimeters.
I bet
I
they
got
do.
like the 37 millimeter, and there's like a 40 or 42
So
or
was that
something.
an Xmas gift?
Yes, it was.
Brand new Apple Watches.
From Santa.
That's so
Even
great.
for fat fingers, Johnny.
Oh, what a show it was. Thank you to Ken Anderson, and I hope you enjoyed all the answers to all the fan questions and everything. And what the hell? This is a show. We had a great show today. Dale and Chuck will be back in the US of A by next week.
Woo!
Which is cool.
Woo!
Chuck will be in studio.
Yeah.
Dale will be on the phone.
Yeah.
Scott, you and I will not be here.
Under protest.
Oh, what's the protest?
Well, it's a quarantine process, really. We can't be around them immediately upon return of Japan. You don't know what you might catch.
No, you're right.
Very true.
That's very true.
You might catch a rabbit.
Or kabuki.
There is a picture of
Kabuki!
there is a picture of Dale being surrounded and mauled by a bunch of rabbits.
He looks so happy.
I don't know. I can't wait to hear that. I don't understand that. I can't wait to hear that story. It's a
gonna be
weird.
good.
That's like the cover. If Dale ever has his own calendar, that's the cover.
Yeah.
That's April.
Actually, no, that's Easter. You're right. That's Easter.
Oh, yeah.
That's April.
That's a holiday.
And then March is a bunch of hornswoggles.
That's fair. That's very fair. So you're going to be out of town next week?
I'm going to be out of town.
All right.
I'm going to be in Dale's neck of the woods.
Heyo, are you going
Yeah.
to meet up with him, or is he going to avoid you?
Yeah, we're going to have some Hassenpfeffer.
What's
Excuse me?
that?
It's cooked rabbit.
Oh, my gosh.
You're just continuing that. I like it. Mm-hmm. Delicious. I'm leaving too. I'm working on a cruise next week. Which you have experience doing.
Yes, I have worked on a cruise as well. I think you will enjoy yourself.
I hope so. I'm doing a week of shows, and we're going to. I got to fly to Miami on Saturday, which is great. I land an hour before the Chiefs-Patriots game, so I'm very excited I could watch that game.
Who are you rooting for?
Oh, I'm a lifelong Chiefs fan. I went to Houston over the weekend. Remember?
Yeah.
I talked earlier in the show.
Yeah.
So
I remember.
I'm a big Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
So
Dang.
I'm excited for it. But yeah, so go to Miami, and then I think it goes to Jamaica, Cozumel, Ocho Rios, and Grand Cayman. Never been to any of those places.
Do you get boat sick?
I'm gonna take ginger and Dramamine.
Oh.
Dramamine, and makes you feel like a grandma.
Yeah, grandma mean. That's what my nanny takes.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that. So I'll be gone for a week, but we'll figure it out. Chuck will hold it down, and Dale will be on the phone, and we'll get another person or two in studio. And
Dramamine makes you tired, so watch out.
Does it?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to get swervy.
No, you're gonna be swaying
No.
with the seas and the stuff.
It's gonna be a boat.
But
That's
it's
for
a big
sure.
ship. It's a ship, not a boat.
Big ship.
It's a ship.
There's no dinghy.
No.
No.
What?
Well, there will be once you're on there.
Hey! Oh, Narver. We are at Wrestling Buds on Twitter. We are at Facebook.com/WrestlingBuds.
If you wanted to change it to Wrestle Dingy, huh?
Yeah, Wrestle
Wrestle
Dingy.
Dingy.
Scotty, put yourself over.
You can listen to my comedy wrestling podcast, Curtain Jerks, available on iTunes and SoundCloud for all wrestling comedy sketches each and every week. This week, you'd find out what unused tracks Jeff Hardy submitted for the new Impact Wrestling theme.
Oh, boy.
That did not get taken.
I can
My
imagine.
favorite was Brain Baby that he performs on the show.
Whoa.
It's a good one. Red Rooster, gonna go in the Royal Rumble. Did you know that?
I did not
It's
know
all on
that.
the show. It's
Wow.
on Curtain Jerks. You gotta listen.
There's a lot going on at Curtain Jerks this
lot
week.
going on.
Okay, Carrlyn Bathe.
Well, you can follow me on Twitter at Carrlyn Bathe, and always doing something exciting with the Kings. So come to a Kings game. Probably hand you a free T-shirt. And
You're all over that Staples Center.
All over that
If
Staples
you say
Center.
you're a compadre and you see her at a game, whatever. That's
Dude,
cool.
We'll hug it out.
Yep.
We'll high five.
Yep.
I'll yell, and then I'll run away because I got something to do. But
Dig it.
It'll
That
be
person
cool.
sounds like they're in a lot of trouble then immediately after that scenario.
Yeah, maybe.
You meet, you hug, you scream, and run away.
Yep.
And they're left there.
They're left there
Uh-oh.
crying.
And then Bailey
shaking.
comes over and just punches him in the face.
Sounds about like a typical night at Staples Center. Yeah. Come say hello.
Party on.
Yeah, man.
Let's see Scottsdale, Arizona, or Phoenix, if you live anywhere in Arizona. February 4th, 5th, and 6th, I'm going to be co-headlining the Stand Up Scottsdale Comedy Club with my buddy Grant Cotter. That's Super Bowl weekend. No game on the Super Bowl, but it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We have shows. I think it's also the Phoenix Open, which is a golf thing, I guess. So it's going to be a pretty crowded city that weekend, so hopefully that'll be good. But go to standupscottsdale.com to buy tickets or hit me up on social media. If you're in Arizona, come on out, have a good time. And most importantly, the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, our blood drive, Saturday, February 13th. All right, hit me up on social media as well. If you're in the area or know someone in LA, please spread the word. We want to have it packed and help as many kids as we can. So Saturday the 13th of February at the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. With that said, do we have, and then of course follow Chuck at CRice17 and Dale at The Walking Dale. Do we have anything else for the week?
On the East Coast, it's going to be Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Because we're going to get together.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa!
That's not hitting the soundbite off that one.
That was
No.
great.
No, doesn't earn it.
Bow, 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 bow.
Okay,
I got you
that's
covered.
the one. That's the one. Anything else? Are we good?
We got uncut video coming soon, so be sure to follow on Twitter.
Uncut video with me and Ken Anderson coming up very, very soon. Other than that, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you next week. We love you.